what is the haptic technology of the body? Haptic refers to touch. We all know that we all need touch, but oftentimes we go for the wrong types of touch. People that are not always interested in touching us the way that we need. And why do we need touch? Well, touch is an integral part of our emotional processing. When we touch each other, it's a way of connecting certain types of information. It's a way of allowing our own nervous system to relax and unwind into feeling and experiencing the full radiance of our feelings. And that's also why we touch each other in our sexual play. We touch each other as we connect friend to friend. But we can also touch each other through just the presence of our being. And sometimes that type of touch is a bit more harder to touch because we're often focused so much outside of ourselves. We're looking outside for approval. We're seeking the material realm to somehow provide us with that connection to touch. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you a very simple way to begin tapping in to the haptic technology of your own face. And in this particular practice, we're going to be looking at the eyes. And the eyes are extremely important to processing neural information. It's not only how we see and we process the sight information, it's also how we process beingness. So for instance, when someone is scared or when you're anxious, you'll notice that the eyes will dart from one side of the room into another. Or you might notice that someone is constantly blinking. You might feel a certain irritation because of how their eyes are expressing themselves. And what this is actually is unprocessed information inside of the body looping into the experience of these neural connections, not finding their way into processing through the full connection into the body. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using touch, using our fingers to stimulate and relax the tissue and the connections around these nerves within our eyes, of which we have at least 10. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to take your fingers and you're going to apply, you can apply a gentle oil, some type of oil that you know is not going to aggravate your skin. And if you have very sensitive skin, you can also use something like rose water or a cream of your choice. But the oil has also it also has an effect on feeding the tissue, which will also allow those neural connections to process more efficiently. So I just want to show you here my trusty skull and just really show you that the eye is inside of this container of the skull, right? This orbit of the eye. But it's actually not just one thing. It's different bones that interconnect all at the central juncture. So these bones can become really tight and locked due to stress or overthinking. Again, information that hasn't really been processed through the neural circuitry of our own feeling structure. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using our fingers with a little bit of that oil, and we're going to be lightly pressing onto the eyelid. And as we're doing this, we're going to be relaxing our jaw, which is really important and key to opening up the entire body. The jaw connects to our pelvis, and there's also central neural pathways that connect into the jaw. I want you to dip that oil onto the fingers and just start by bringing 2 fingers onto the inner part of the eye. You're going to lightly press onto the eye, and then you're just going to sit. You can either do this also lying down, but if you're doing it sitting, you're sitting up and you're slightly sitting back. And you're going to focus on just bringing the breath in through the nose and then out through the mouth. And as you exhale out through the mouth, I want you to focus on relaxing the jaw down and slightly forward. So you're releasing that and then slightly forward, which is going to help to unlock the bones here at the side of the skull, which will help to unlock the orbit of the eye. So as you're doing that, you're going to place it to the next, to the top of the eye, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. Also want to release the tongue, which is very much connected to the jaw and the entire skull, and also into the entire body. And the last point is just here on the outside. Again, inhale through the nose, and then exhale out through the mouth. And as you're relaxing your jaw, try to see if you can feel the connection of your jaw to your pelvis and to your hips. This is going to help to bring that neural circuitry connection all the way down to the base of your spine. So really focusing on completing each breath and dropping into the somatic experience, which is your body's emotional experience, is very, very much important. And then you're going to do the bottom of the eye. So the same way, just lightly pressing, basically more like the weight of your fingers than anything else. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling out through the mouth. You can also focus on relaxing and softening through the lips. This will also help to connect that stretch even deeper. The last 2 points would be in the middle of the eye, the orbit, on the lower portion, and then also on the outer portion of the eye. So you can practice this daily, or you can practice this anytime you feel like you've had a lot of emotional stress, too much thoughts running through the brain, you've been on the computer all day long and you can't get your mind out of whatever algorithm you're stuck on. Try to go ahead and practice this as a way of reconnecting those neural pathways within your own body and within your own being. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you join me for my upcoming class called Tap into the Haptic Technology of Your Face, where we'll be covering not only the eyes, but the entire face, also working on helping to open up the entire skull. All of these bones have the capacity to release, and it's really just about tapping in through touch, through the connection of experiencing that touch fully, processing it all the way through. Thank you.